It's Jets Weekly with your host, Connor Hrabchak.
Hello everyone and welcome into another edition of Winnipeg Jets Weekly. My name is Connor Hrabchak. We've got 3 home games to talk about this week as the Jets started on Tuesday night against the Nashville Predators and then a back-to-back Friday and Saturday against the LA Kings and the Colorado Avalanche. The Jets coming away with 5 out of a possible 6 points of these 3 games. I'm going to break them all down, then hand out my awards, the hardest working Jet and 3 stars of the week. But let's go back to Tuesday night, the Jets 5-2 win over the Nashville Predators. Now, this game ended with Connor Hellebuyck picking up his 300th career win, a major milestone for goaltenders, but I'm going to talk more about that one in the Friday game against LA, as that is when he was celebrated before the game for not only 300 career wins, but also 500 games played and 40 career shutouts. This game against the Nashville Predators, Connor Hellebuyck got the start, and the Winnipeg Jets took 7 penalties. If you see the power play discrepancy there at the bottom of the screen, the Jets went 1 for 1 on their power play. Gabe Vilardi scored that one, but 1 for 7 for the Predators on their power play opportunities. The Jets penalty kill got a massive workout on this night, and Connor Hellebuyck as well. The Jets still outshot the Predators 31-28. The expected goals, if you have 7 power plays, you're obviously going to be expected to have more goals than the other team. That's what Nashville did, 4.14 to 2.97 in their favor. But the scoring chances for the Jets, 33-25. That's including the power play time as well. So yes, the Jets penalty kill stepped up in a massive way, 1 for 7, but at 5-on-5, when this game was at 5-on-5, which was rare, the Jets were the much better team and they deserved this 5-2 win on this night. The Jets' power play goal was a thing of beauty, as in just 9 seconds of power play time, all 5 players touched the puck, and it ended with a Nikolai Ehlers slap pass to Gabriel Vilardi, who tapped it in to give the Jets a 4-1 lead at the time, and Nashville did have a few power plays late, but that was the dagger, securing Connor Hellebuyck's 300th career win in only 538 career games played. He's the fastest US-born goaltender to reach 300 wins, and the 3rd fastest goaltender all time in the history of the NHL to reach 300 wins, doing it in 538 games. One of the all-time greats, a Hall of Famer, right before our very eyes, Connor Hellebuyck's 300th win on Tuesday night, 5-2 over the Predators. That brings us to Friday's game, and Eric Comrie was getting the start on this night, so that meant that Connor Hellebuyck could enjoy his pregame celebration, where he went home with a ton of hardware. The photo that you see here is him receiving a silver stick for 500 career games played. Usually you'll see players get that for 1,000 games played, but for goaltenders, 500 is the major milestone. Hellebuyck reached that. He also received a golden stick for 300 wins, and a commemorative puck for 40 career shutouts. Hellebuyck hitting all of those recently, and the Jets thought, why not celebrate him all on one night, give him all 3 of these milestones and all 3 of these pieces of hardware. Connor Hellebuyck, it was a week of celebrating as he got the 300th win, and then Friday night, everyone in the building celebrated the franchise goaltender that is Connor Hellebuyck and all of the accomplishments that he has reached in a Winnipeg Jets jersey. And then they finally dropped the puck and played some hockey, and this game between the Jets and the Kings was an absolute defensive battle from start to finish, with the Kings coming away with the win 2-1 in overtime. The Jets really struggled to generate any offense at 5-on-5, especially in the first 2 periods. The 3rd period was a little bit better. They started to crack down on LA, who's one of the best defensive teams in the NHL. First in goals against, first in expected goals against, first in chances against, shots against, every single defensive metric. LA is first, and it was a battle through and through. The shots on goal, 23-19 in LA's favor. Again, only 19 shots on goal for the Jets, only 1.61 expected goals compared to LA's 2.59. And then the shot attempts were almost even, 49-50. And the way that the Jets broke through on LA was due to their league best power play. Mark Scheifele scored a goal late in the 3rd period, tied the game up 1-1, sent it to overtime, and the Jets walked away with a point. Adrian Kempe ended up getting the overtime winner for LA, but this game was a defensive battle. Scott O'Neill said after the game that it was as close to a playoff game as they have been in this year, and the Jets, I thought, fared decently well. Obviously, you'd like to see a little bit more offense generated, but the Jets relied on their power play. Eric Comrie was solid, and they walked away with at least 1 point of this back-to-back home and home. And that brings us to Saturday night, where the Winnipeg Jets played maybe their best defensive performance of the season, a 3-0 win over the Colorado Avalanche, holding them to just 22 shots on goal, 2.13 expected goals, 18 scoring chances, and 0 goals. Connor Hellebuyck picks up his 6th shutout, tying a career high on January 11th. I think he's going to break that as the season goes on. But Connor Hellebuyck, 6 shutouts and 6 regulation losses on the season so far. Just another mind-boggling stat among the many for Connor Hellebuyck that we have read this week. But as we know, not all shutouts are created equally, and this, I would say, was the Jets' best defensive performance of the season. And it's no coincidence that on Friday night, the Jets' defense looked great. Saturday night, their defense looked great, and that's when Dylan Samberg returned. He played 21 games and then missed 21 games with a broken foot, but he stepped in and was the Jets' time on ice leader in regulation on Friday night and was the Jets' outright time on ice leader on Saturday night against the Colorado Avalanche. So welcome back, Dylan Samberg. He's playing tough minutes against the best players in the NHL, and the Jets, in a game where they had 0 power plays and had to rely on their 5-on-5 game, put together a really strong performance, keeping the Avs to the outside, and walked away with a 3-0 win and 3 out of a possible 4 points of this back-to-back against 2 capable playoff opponents in the West. Now, it is time for the awards portion of this episode where I hand out the hardest working Jet and 3 stars of the week. But before we get into that, make sure you hit the like button down below, hit that subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss this exact video every single Monday morning, breaking down the week that was for the Winnipeg Jets and previewing the upcoming week of games, which I'll get to later on in this episode as well. Without further ado, let's get into the awards.
The hardest working Jet.
He made his return this week, and he immediately is getting the hard hat. Dylan Samberg is my hardest working Jet of the week, and I gotta say, it was one moment where he won it. It was his first game back against the LA Kings. The LA Kings got a first period power play. The puck went to the right circle, and Dylan Samberg stepped out and blocked a slap shot right off his thigh in a spot that had no padding, shook it off, and the Winnipeg Jets went on to have 2 back-to-back great penalty-killing performances against the LA Kings and the Colorado Avalanche. But Dylan Samberg, after 21 games missed, being back-to-back time-on-ice leader in regulation for the Jets, stepping up on the penalty kill, blocking shots, having no fear. He looked like the Dylan Samberg pre-injury, looked like he didn't miss a step, and for that, he's my hardest-working Jet of the week.
And now, the Jets Weekly 3 stars of the week.
My 3rd star of the week is Mark Scheifele, and he continues to light the league on fire ever since being left off of Team Canada's roster at the Four Nations Face-Off. And he is 2nd in the NHL in goals since that announcement, and tied for 2nd in the NHL in goals in general with 25, trailing only Leon Draisaitl. But he's on pace for a career year, 44 games played, 25 goals, 25 assists, 50 points, 2.2 shots per game. Mark Scheifele is playing some of the best hockey of his career alongside Kyle Connor and Gabe Vilardi on that top line. They put together another really strong performance Saturday night against Colorado when Scheifele scored that goal to put the Jets up 2-0, and for that, he's my 3rd star of the week. My 2nd star of the week is Nikolai Ehlers after the 2-goal performance against the Colorado Avalanche on Saturday night, but that wasn't all. With Vladislav Nemeskov out of the lineup, Scott Arniel moved Adam Lowry and Alexei Aflalo on the line with Nikolai Ehlers, and they were matched up with Nathan MacKinnon throughout the game. They not only outshot, outchanced, and outscored that line at 5-on-5. But like I said, Nikolai Ehlers added 2 goals, and for that performance alone, which was one of Ehlers' best all-around games of the year, he earns the 2nd star of the week. My 1st star of the week is obviously Connor Hellebuyck. He picked up his 300th career win on Tuesday, followed that up with a 22-save shutout on Saturday night against the Avs, and after that Avalanche game, Sportsnet Stats released this tweet on Twitter breaking down Connor Hellebuyck's dominance. He's the first goalie to lead the NHL in wins, goals against average, save percentage, and shutouts this late into a season since Pete Peters did it for the Bruins in the 1982-1983 season. Connor Hellebuyck is absolutely in rare air with the way he's playing, the career he's putting together. It's a Hall of Fame career unfolding before our very eyes, and he's going to be a lifetime Jet. Connor Hellebuyck, for the 300 wins, for the shutout, for all the things that he's doing for this Winnipeg Jets team, the unbelievable numbers that he's putting together, he's my 1st star of the week. Now, let's quickly take a look at the Winnipeg Jets' upcoming schedule as they wrap up their season-long 8-game homestand this week. Starting Tuesday night against the Vancouver Canucks, one of 2 All-Canadian matchups at home for the Jets this week. Then they'll welcome the Seattle Kraken to town on Thursday night. And as you can see, there's a little WST logo there. That is our Winnipeg Sports Talk Game of the Month, part of our ticket pack. Super excited to see all you WSTers down at the rink who bought the ticket pack, and I'm super fired up for that game. Then the Jets will close out this season-long homestand on Saturday night, another Canadian matchup, another Hockey Night in Canada game, as they welcome the Calgary Flames to town before hitting the road and taking on the Utah Hockey Club. I'll be back next Monday to break down all 3 of the remaining games in this homestand against the Canucks, Kraken, and Flames. That's going to do it for this edition of Winnipeg Jets Weekly. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure you've hit the like button down below, hit that subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss this exact video every single Monday morning, breaking down the week that was for the Winnipeg Jets and previewing the upcoming week. I will be breaking down the rest of this homestand, all 3 of those home games, the Canucks, the Kraken, and the Flames, next Monday on Winnipeg Jets Weekly. Enjoy this week of games, folks. Get down to the rink if you can. We'll see you WSTers there Thursday night as the Jets take on the Kraken, and I'll see you all next Monday for the next edition of Winnipeg Jets Weekly. Have a great week, everyone.